Welcome to the Idiot Box. This is House of the Dragon Episode 8. 6 years have passed since the last episode. Rhaenys is sitting on the throne of Driftmark with Baela at her side. It turns out Rhaenys took Baela as her ward. A maester tells Rhaenys that the sea snake Corlys has fallen ill while on his voyage and is presumed to die. The incident invites the uncomfortable question over who succeeds him. Vaemond, Sea Snake's younger brother, wants the throne for himself, but Rhaenys argues that the throne should go to Luke Velaryon as Corlys wanted. Vaemond tells that he will petition this issue in King's Landing. Now we travel to Dragonstone, where Daemon is dwelling into a cave and finds a dragon egg. Rhaenyra's dragon has given birth to 3 dragon eggs. Daemon receives word from Baela. Daemon brings the letter to Rhaenyra, which says that Vaemond is going to petition the crown to be named the new Lord of the Seas, bringing in question the legitimacy of Rhaenyra's children. And they decide to go to King's Landing in the capital. Queen Alicent is presiding over the small council now, as Viserys is too sick to rule. The small council discuss who should be named as the new Lord of the Tides. Rhaenyra and Daemon visit Viserys, who is completely bedridden and covered in bandages. They tell Viserys that Corlys is injured and probably going to die, and they need his help in strengthening Luke's claim on Driftmark. But Viserys is whacked out as he has been drinking milk of the poppy, a powerful painkiller and sedative. Rhaenyra introduces her 2 sons from Daemon, Aegon and Viserys. Yep, there are 2 Aegon and 2 Viserys now. I'm sure it won't be confusing. Going to older Aegon. Turns out he has grown up to be a bad guy. A maid is brought to Alicent, who has been raped by Aegon. Boys, should I have used this word? Anyway, Alicent gives her some gold and threatens her not to tell this to anyone. She also gives her a tea, the same Rhaenyra got in episode 4 for unwanted pregnancy. Alicent berates Aegon. The queen says that he insulted his sister wife Helena, not to mention the queen herself.
You are no son of mine.
Now from one family drama to another, Alicent greets Rhaenyra and Daemon. Daemon is pissed as they were not greeted by the queen upon their arrival, and Rhaenyra objects how her father is kept heavily sedated. Alicent says it is done with the advice of maesters. Daemon wonders if the maesters also recommended the removal of Targaryen iconography throughout King's Landing and its replacement with religious symbolism. Oh, I forgot to mention, the faith of the 7 has become prevalent in the capital, as even the queen is wearing the 7-pointed star. Alicent explains.
The emblems of the 7 serve only to guide us on an uncertain path.
And tomorrow it'll be her authority who presides over Driftmark's succession. Meanwhile, Jace and Luke run around King's Landing, and they chance upon an intense sparring clash. It's 2 distinctly unfriendly faces. Sir Criston Cole is training with Aemon Targaryen, who's sporting an eye patch thanks to Luke. Aemon wins and invites the boys to train. Before any melee breaks out, Vaemond Velaryon and his crew arrive. Vaemond heads straight to the Queen and the Hand. Otto Hightower is firmly on Vaemond's side.
But the threat of war looms, and may arrive on our shores. When it does, will you want a child at the command of the greatest fleet in Westeros?
Vaemond says if he is chosen, the next Lord of the Tides will be in her debt. The implication is clear. If the queen were to, say, get in a civil war with the princess, a Vaemond-led Driftmark would back Alicent. Rhaenyra meets with Rhaenys and proposes an offer of her own. If Rhaenys backs Luke's claim to Driftmark, Laena's 2 daughters can marry Rhaenyra's 2 sons. That way, Baela, Laena's eldest, will be queen and her sons will become heirs to the Iron Throne.
A generous offer.
Rhaenyra goes to meet with his father alone and asks him if he believes Aegon's prophecy to be true. Then he should back her in the proceedings tomorrow. The next morning, while the maesters are working over a pained and groaning Viserys, the king tells Otto Hightower he wants to dine with the whole family tonight. It's now time for the case of Driftmark's succession. Vaemond pleads his case by talking about Velaryon blood, about how he doesn't have ambition. He just wants Velaryons to continue their rule of Driftmark. Now it's Rhaenyra's turn, but before she can utter a word, the gates open, and it's the king, who begins his slow march to the throne.
I will sit the throne today. Your Grace.
He sits on the throne and says there is no need to hear any petitions. Rhaenys would know what Corlys wanted and gives the stage to her. Rhaenys thinks quickly on her feet. She says that Lord Corlys wished that Driftmark pass through Sir Laenor to Luke, and publicly announces Rhaenyra's proposal. King Viserys decrees the matter settled, but not so fast. Vaemond begins his protest and rambles about tradition and insults Rhaenyra and her children.
Her children are bastards! And she
is a whore.
Viserys says that he'll have his tongue for that, but Daemon is quick to chop Vaemon's head off. Now it is time for the dinner. Viserys removes his mask. Boy, that's the stuff for nightmares. He gives a great speech urging both the families to kiss and make up. Rhaenyra stands up to toast Queen Alicent. The princess says she loves Viserys, but Queen Alicent is the one who has been at the king's side for all these years. Queen Alicent accepts the toast and returns the favor. She says they have more in common than they often remember and significantly says Rhaenyra will make a fine queen. Aemon gives a toast of his own.
Let us drain our cups to these 3 strong boys.
I dare you to say that again.
Why?
This is an obvious reference to Harvin Strong, which triggers Jace and they almost come to blows but are stopped by Daemon. The kids are sent to their room. Rhaenyra says she ought to get the children back to Dragonstone, but promises a concerned Alicent she'll fly back. Just before the episode is about to end, Viserys, in a drug-induced state, mistakes Alicent for Rhaenyra and answers the question her daughter posed a night before. He mistakenly tells her about Aegon's dream, but Alicent misunderstands the reference to his own son, who is also named Aegon. See how much problem having the same name causes? Viserys tells her to unite the realm. Alicent says she understands. The episode ends with Viserys taking what may be his last breath. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more.